Welcome everyone to Ted Jr. Presents Top 5, powered by Life on Wax LLC. Now today our featured guest is running for county council. She is a self-proclaimed software geek and advocate for her community. She joins us today to promote her candidacy for District 4 councilperson. Now let's welcome none other than Miss Shalonda Webb.
Hi, Ted. How are you today? Thank you for having me.
Hey, I'm really glad to have you on the show. I'm glad you decided to be a part of Top 5 today. So thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm appreciative of this opportunity, and thank you for sharing your platform with me.
Hey, anytime. Part of the goal here is to make sure that we are giving the community information on everyone who's trying to do something different or better in their community. And you definitely fit that bill as a person that is looking to make positive changes in the neighborhood. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we're gonna let's get into this interview. Before we really get deeply into why you're running for 4th District council person, I wonder, what did you want to be? What did you dream about being when you were growing up?
Everything. I grew up in a small town in Texas, Port Arthur, Texas. Unless you just listen to UGK, you probably have no idea what Port Arthur, Texas is, right? No. But I'm near Houston, Texas, like 90 minutes, 45 miles or so from Houston, Texas. And when I grew up, man, I had so many things I wanted to be. I mean, I wanted to be a teacher because my favorite teacher was my first grade teacher, Miss Beard, and she was just phenomenal. I said, I'm gonna be just like Miss Beard when I grow up. I wanted to be an Alvin Ailey dancer because when I was younger, my mom took me to see Alvin Ailey dancers when they came to the Beaumont Civic Center one time. And I had been taking dance like since I was 6 years old and did ballerina and all of that stuff to about 16. I even wanted to be a construction worker at one time.
Wow.
Because my grandmother, my dad's mom was a construction worker. And we would go to her house. I would go to her house all the time. And I said, I'm going to be like Grandma Reba because, you know, she would come in with her hard-toe steel boots on and her scarf bandana tied around her head. And she just was a strong woman. And I was like, I'm going to work construction like my mom. I also wanted to be what I am now, but I didn't know it was called engineering because I like to fix problems. And I get a challenge and a fulfillment when I'm given difficult problems and I solve them. And sometimes that deals with a lot of me. Like when somebody say you can't do something, I'm gonna show you. See, I can show you better than I can tell you type mentality. My mom influenced me a lot. And for 25 years, she served her community. And that's what she embedded in me and my sister. And just real quick, a little anecdote. When I was like grade school, 5th and 4th grade, we had some neighbors named Miss LeBlanc and Miss Fernandez. And my mom used to send me and my sister because she would go off for work in the morning. She's like, all right, get up and do y'all chores. When y'all finish, y'all need to go to Miss LeBlanc's house and vacuum for her and do a couple of things for her and then go to Miss Fernandez's house and clean her silver. Right. So, but that instilled in me from that early age. It's just like, you help somebody else because somebody helped you.
You've seen yourself now as a problem solver.
Yes.
For a long time as a problem solver.
Yeah. My professional years, in my professional career, and just in my life, I like to help others. And I'm tedious about things too. I'm real detailed oriented. And so, you know, if I put a plan together, I'm thinking at all aspects of that plan and how it's coming together and how it's going to accomplish what it's intended to accomplish.
So as a problem solver, as a person who you decide that you want to run for office.
Yes, sir.
For those, before we get into more of the why, what are the boundaries of your district?
Oh, okay.
And what part of your district do you live?
Okay, so St. Louis County, District 4 encompasses all of unincorporated North County. It includes Spanish Lake, Bellefontaine Neighbors. It includes some of Moline Acres, some of Florissant, and so it's a pretty large area, and it encompasses all of that. I am in the unincorporated area near Hazelwood Central,
Mm.
so that's where I actually reside. I've been living here since for 20 more than 20 years. I've been in St. Louis, North County, been in the same house, raising my all three of my sons. We've all lived in this same area, and so uh, yeah, that's where I am.
So talk about your reasons for wanting to run for District 4 councilwoman.
They're not rocket science reasons, but they mean something to a person. My reasons for running is one, I want us to have representation that is engaged in our community at all times. One thing that I always struggle with, and maybe it's because I'm from a small town, but you should know the person you represent. And if you've been in that opportunity for a long sense of time, um, your people, your community should know who you are. Um, so that's very important to me because that to me shows that you have a vested interest. I'm invested in North County. I eat, sleep, work, and worship in North County. And I am concerned about how it's changing in its future. I feel like our leadership is not intentional about what's going on in our community. It concerns me that people are more reactive than proactive. There are businesses that we've lost in this area that shouldn't be. I mean, these are small mom and pops that, that's somebody's dream. Somebody has invested their time, their resources, all their energy to make that flourish. And they have not gotten a community of leadership that entices others to invest in our community so it can be sustained long term. I'm concerned how our community is disproportionately um, receiving less resources from jobs to healthcare to other opportunities, education. I am in a great industry right here in our own community, the Fortune 500 company, the Boeing company, as a software engineer. And I see from that aspect of an employer, that employee, that they're looking for talent. I know I'm a focal, a hiring focal, one of the roles that I have to fulfill. And we have these large numbers of talent that we need. And I'm searching everywhere across this nation to pull that talent in. But how phenomenal would it be if I could pull that, if there was a talent pool that came straight from Hazelwood Central or Brown Elementary or Barrington Down or Jamestown Elementary, and we had groomed that talent and developed that talent to stay right here and make a difference and teach them early on how impactful they can be to their community right here at home. They don't have to go off to Atlanta. They don't have to go off to San Antonio or Dallas, Texas. Right here in North County, that's the solution.
So, Jamestown Mall,
Mhm.
what's your assessment of that, and how would you address it as a county council person?
So, back a long time ago, there was a urban land, the ULI Institute, Urban Land Institute, did a study. This was like in 2009, and I remember it because I was encouraging my neighbors and stuff to go because I get on their nerves sometimes and be like, "Hey, y'all, we got to be engaged in this, and we need to participate in this. It's real important, and your voice has to be heard." And I had drummed up a whole lot of support for it, and we all went to a mixture of the community, all went to Flow Valley. That's where it was, at Flow Valley, and we would put weeks after weeks, we came together and we put plans together, and we shared ideas together on how we should pursue revitalizing Jamestown. That was in 2009, Ted. If you drive by Jamestown Mall just this past weekend when they were disseminating food, the food bank, and I'm looking like, look where they're bringing people to give them aid. This overgrown, mold infested facility. Why is that so? So I know that things have changed and leadership roles have changed, but 10 years, 10 years and we still don't have a solution. So what can I do? I'm not saying that I'm fixing the problem all by myself, but I can provide some oversight. I can provide some transparency. I can provide simple communication to like, check this out, everybody. This is what's going on. This is the current state of what's going on. If you don't like it, this is how you can voice your opinion. Sometimes fixing a problem isn't that you come in with the solution all on your own. That's what I've learned in my career and in my life. It's bringing people together and letting everybody know you welcome to this table. You have a voice, and we can work together to come up with a solution. So when I look at Jamestown Mall's property at the current state where the county no longer has that authority, just tell me what's going on. Simply, just tell me what's going on. Yeah. Let me be an informed community member. At work, we always say, well, it's a need to know about certain, security or certain classification programs. I believe that everybody that live in this district has a need to know. Why do you have a need to know? Because I live in this district. That's all that matters is I live in this district and I have a need to know. And you should be transparent to me and let me know what your plans are. You ever been invited to a meeting and they act like they want to get your inputs, but when you already get to the meeting, they already have what they want to do? They just going through the motions. That's what I feel like they do us in North County. We're just gonna go through the motions like but we already got our plan of what we're gonna do. And that's not fair. Because in North County, like West County and in South County, we pay our taxes, we care for our homes, we are engaged voters, and we want to be informed when we make decisions. So give us that same respect, give us that due diligence that you would give other communities, and let us have some say.
Now, in order to get anything done in county council, relationships are extremely important. How will you go about establishing those relationships and building them with your colleagues as an incoming candidate?
So I'm just going to be Shalonda, right? And I can only be Shalonda. Like I was telling you earlier, I was like, I've been practicing being her for 44 years. That's all I know how to be. Being authentic with people, being transparent with people, that builds a whole lot into sustaining and creating relationships. My grandma always say, I don't have much. I'll make sure we don't have much money, but we're going to make sure you fed, and my word is my word. And that's what I'm going to be banking on. My word is my word. And so I think that'll go a long way. When people know that you are an independent thinker, when you make decisions, you have a core to you when you make a decision. For my job, my peers and the team that I manage, I say I make decisions on two cornerstones, on team and on truth. So bring me facts, and I'm going to do what's best for the team. It's not what is in it for Shalonda, what is best for the team as a whole. And that's how I look at it for our community. I don't have no individual personal benefit for running for county council. Really? I've been an engineer at Boeing for 22 years almost. I'm in leadership there. I'm getting into this because, as I stated before, I want the best for my community. We deserve so much better. And it's easy to live passively when somebody else gonna take care of it, when somebody else gonna do it. I'm busy right now. And I've been there. I'm gonna be honest about that, raising kids and all of those other things. But I think it's a season in my life where I can invest the time and the effort to actually be there in the forefront for my community. Because I've been here, like I said, 20 plus years, doing all types of things from the youth through the senior citizens and more.
What are two other issues that you plan to address while in office?
I want us to focus on being intentional about creating incubators in our companies for businesses to thrive.
Okay.
That is something I'm passionate about. I want our businesses to represent our community and their workforce to represent our community. I know there is legislation and things in place that say, we're going to have 25% of county contracts for minorities. And when they get those contracts, I want to make sure their representation of their workforce come from North County.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's a woman-owned business and she has a construction company and she's out of Eureka. But I'm gonna need you to make sure that your workforce benefits North County. So that means that you hire people out of North County to be on these projects, that they are exchanging their dollars in our community, whether it be through restaurants, merchandising, all of those things. But another aspect of that is that you've got to give them that environment. So I'm a strong advocate for small businesses and making sure minority and women-owned businesses have the support around me, and they have a system, an incubator around them to make sure that they thrive. So that's one additional initiative. And then the other one that is dear to my heart is that um, we want to make sure our community has what it needs to be safe.
Okay.
To make sure that the services that we receive for protection in our community is representative of our community. And I want our community to be that example of good policing, of engaged community policing. Um, that's important to me. That's important to me because I live here. That's important to me because I have 3 sons. That's important to me because I have Miss Martin as my neighbor next door, and I know that she's vulnerable. And so I want to make sure that our community it has the safety around us that we need, and that we have good community relationships. And if I just may share one more with you, Ted,
Okay.
I mentioned about being innovative about schools and creating a new workforce. I'm passionate about that. The nerd in me is passionate about that because, as I mentioned, I work at a company that's looking for talented engineers. And that talent pool is very, very small. How come we can't come up with a way to create a pipeline from middle school, not high school, but from middle school through the workforce doors, where we invest in our kids and give them apprenticeships? And it's going to solve 2 problems at one time. It's going to give employers talented, qualified workforce, and it's going to give those children in our community strong, sustainable, viable employment and income.
Mhm.
We can be a hub in North County for the 21st century jobs and technologies, and from engineering jobs to labor jobs. But we can have that right here in North County. I travel from DC to California to um, you name it, from coast to coast. And I go to a lot of historically Black colleges and universities. I'm a product of a HBCU. I went to Fisk University.
All right.
Yeah, so go Fiskites. But my son is a Fiskite too. My experience at Fisk grew me to who I am as well today. Fisk, I always tell people it's not the most modern school, but the core of Fisk teaches you you don't have it, go create it yourself. If you want something, you want change, stand in the gap and change. I remember when there was the Million Man March, and I remember us making sandwiches. There was a bus that we raised money to send the men, the Fiskites, the men Fiskites, to go participate in, and we made sandwiches and packed lunches, and we all came together right there in Johnson Hall and in Shane Hall. We was making sandwiches and getting them all brothers all ready to go. So yeah, those HBCU experiences ingrain something in you that nothing can change. Anyway, I go to these areas trying to attract talent to St. Louis, trying to invite talent to St. Louis, trying to say, hey, these are the winning things we have in St. Louis. But you know what would be better? If they was in St. Louis already and they had the skill sets to qualify for these jobs.
Recently, because of COVID-19, there's been a bit of backlash surrounding the county response and how they decided to allocate those funds. What are your thoughts about that?
So overall, I thought about this a whole lot. And so I understand like the whole disseminating the funds equally between all of the different counties. But we were unequally impacted by COVID-19. You can't throw the same amount of money at one problem and you have something over here exponentially larger and you're giving it the same amount of money and you think it's going to make an impact. How is that? That's not feasible. That's not logical. It's like having a ditch, right? I talked about my grandmother being in construction, right? So you have one ditch that's about 3 feet deep, right? You have another deep ditch. It's about 9 feet deep. But you're going to give everybody the amount of dirt for 4 feet. Just because now they don't even need all 4 feet, right? They ditch is just 3 feet deep. You got one over here that's 9 and you're going to give it 4? It's barely halfway filled to address the need. And so I understand about disseminating funds evenly, but when you have something disproportionately impacted, I think you need to address accordingly. Or you're going to always have a disparity. You didn't fix anything. You put a Band-Aid on something.
Speak to all of the voters and tell them why they should choose you over the incumbent, because this is the choice.
I look at the voters, and when I'm talking to them, even when I'm walking in the neighborhood, this is what I say. I am giving you a choice to provide competent leadership for our community. Someone that will be proactive and not reactive. Someone that is intentional about our future. I'm an independent thinker, and I'm a person that's true to my word, and I bring people together. I'm not divisive. And I want the best for us. The difference between Shalonda and the opponent is that I'm vested in our community and committed to our community. I just keep thinking we deserve so much better. We deserve as a community so much better. I want you to work for me like you work for yourself. And I haven't seen that in our current leadership. And one thing about me, Ted, and I tell this to everybody, I say it at work all the time. I don't never pretend to know all the answers. I don't never pretend that I know everything. But what I will be transparent and open about is that I'm diligent, I'm hardworking. And if I don't know the answer, I know somebody that knows somebody that know the answer. And that's what it means to be a representative of someone and an advocate for someone, is that you're going to find, if they allow you to, you are going to go and help them the best way you can. And if that means pulling on other resources to address an issue, that's what you do.
How can they support your campaign?
So I have a website and Facebook. So my website is shalondawebb.com. And everyone can go there and find out more information about me, where I am, who I am, where I come from. I am also on Facebook at Shalonda Webb for County Council. I'm not on Twitter yet, but those are the main 2 places where they can meet up with me. I'm going to be putting out more and more information and content as we get more engaged in the campaign. Just so you can connect with me, just so you know where I am, just so you can ask me a question.
So now it's time for top 5. For all those that are watching, of course, you can always go to tedjuniorlive.com/top 5 and play the game yourself at home. So Shalonda, what we'll do is we're going to spin this wheel here.
Okay.
It's going to land on, can you see the wheel?
I can see the wheel.
All right, great. It's going to land on a topic. I don't know what topic it's going to land on. It's completely random.
Okay.
Now, once we get the topic, we're going to talk. You're going to give me your top 5 of whatever that topic is.
Okay. I think I can do that. I'm not nervous. Let's go for it. I feel like I'm on The Price is Right or something. Go for it.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's fun. Feel fortunate or something. All right.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, let's spin the wheel.
Right. Big money, big money, big money. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Top 5 women singers.
Okay. Well, I gotta think for a second.
Top 5 women or female singers.
Women, female singers.
All time if you want to make it.
Okay. So let me try. So I'm going to start off with my number 5.
Number 5. What's your number 5, Shalonda?
So for my number 5, I'm going to have to say, Monica.
Oh wow! Whoa! Curveball right out the gate. Okay.
So Monica is my number 5 because I remember being in college and in high school, coming out of high school and in college, and I just could before you let before you walk out of my life, that was my song. I used to sing it all the time, and I remember my auntie was like, "What's she? She's just singing that song all the time. Does she even know what she's singing about?" So Monica was a good, yeah. I see Monica to this day. She's on my playlist right now to this day.
All right. Number 4. What's your number 4?
My number 4 would have to be Billie Holiday.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Because, and I know it's like, what? God bless the child. So my grandmother, growing up, I used to have asthma really bad. And so my grandmother would come get me and stay. I would stay with her a lot. Like when I would get sick in school, she would bring me to her house and be like, I would stay there for a good stay. But anyway, Billie Holiday would play on that 45 over
all day.
And then we had those, my grandma had one of those record players where it would look like a piece of furniture, but you would raise the center of it up, and then you would have, Billie Holiday would play all the time. And so nobody business but mine. Yeah, Billie Holiday is my number.
My dad had the TV set that opened up, the top opened up, and there was a record player in it. And on the other side, it was an 8-track player.
Yep, that was it. That was it.
It was a Magnavox floor model.
Okay, I don't remember what model it was. I'm not gonna pretend that I remember, Ted, but it had an 8-track in there, and it had the record player side, and it would do the 45s, the small ones, or the big one. You had to put that little piece in the middle when you want to play the 45. Right.
Yeah, yep. I know what you're talking about. All right, so Billie Holiday? That's a good choice. Number 3.
Number three. For number 3, I am going to go with Yolanda Adams. Yolanda Adams have this song, and I don't have an eclectic list of all of her music, but this one song was called "Open Up My Heart." And I must have been in college, might have been a young adult. And that was a song that connected with me. And then my mother passed about 10 years ago, right? And and I was going through, yeah, God, I understand. I trust you, but I'm not quite getting this. And that song kind of helped me get through that, open up my heart, Lord, just lead me, and so, yeah, Yolanda Adams is there.
That one, I love that one. Alone in the Room.
Yes. It's just me and you.
Okay, wait. We're not going. Hey, wait a minute. We're not.
I don't have no singing talents. Only my son can sing for the Jubilee Singers. I don't have none of those skills.
Oh man. All right, so that's Yolanda Adams and number 2.
Number 2. So, man, you put me on the spot. I can have some country western singers, but anyway, so I'm a Texas girl, born there rather, and so I'm gonna have to put Beyonce in the list.
Okay.
And I put Beyonce in the list not just for her musical abilities. I put her in the list because of she owns who she is. Good, better, and different. And she'll share her pain with you, just like she shared the good with you. She's transparent from that perspective. And there has been music that she's made that's got me through some rough times too, so I have to put Beyonce in that mix as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I know my list is all over the place, right? You're like, where does this girl come from?
Well, let's get to the number 1.
So my number 1. My number one. Oh, I got a toss up. So, can I give you my 1A and 1B?
Ah. Oh, sure. Give me one.
Okay, so my 1B will be Whitney Houston.
Okay.
I always love Whitney Houston. And there's so many songs for her that I love. But my number one will be Lauryn Hill.
Wow. Okay.
And the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, from Zion to from the beginning to the end. Lauryn Hill is my number one.
That's all right.
Because I'm a 90s girl, but no, Lauryn Hill is my number one.
I could deal with that. Lauryn Hill, she's got songs that I love actually, and it really all sit on one album, which is crazy.
Miseducation of Lauryn.
Yeah, they all really sit on one album. It's X Factor, I think, is my favorite.
X Factor.
I think that's my favorite.
Yes, X Factor, and You Think You're Grown Sneaking on Your Mama's Phone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Sweetest Thing I've Ever known. Yeah, that's not on X Factor, but yeah.
Well, there it is. Thanks for playing Top 5.
Thank you for indulging me. I appreciate it.
It wasn't as tough as you thought it would be, huh?
No, because I was like scrambling, and then I had to I was true to myself, and those are in my playlist right now. All them songs be found.
Well, there it is. Well, once again, just give us your how to contact you, where we can find you and contact you.
And you can reach me at info@shalondawebb.com. That's the email address. The website, once again, is shalondawebb.com. And our Facebook page is Shalonda Webb for County Council. And I'll be more than happy to respond to all of your questions. Thank you, Ted. I really appreciate you.